What makes Shonen Jump so special? Okay, number one definitely has to do with Japan being isolated. They're separated from Western depictions of fantasy or fairy tale. They have their own gods, they have their own fantasy land. They're more focused on like the spiritual realm, the Shinigami, the gods, and just warriors. And overall, Japan has their own samurai history, so you don't see them leaning into like Western ways of just creative thinking. Their version of magic is completely different than the Western side of magic. If that makes sense. And their way of storytelling is just, I feel like, deeper than Western storytelling. Don't get me wrong, you do have wonderful points of storytelling like Star Wars, and you have books like Lord of the Rings. But outside of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, America don't really have fantastic storytellers. They have fantastic uh, physical directions when it comes to just shooting. I would say movies. I would say Hollywood in general has revolutionized movies. So I definitely think Japan did their thing when it came to just taking from the visuals that Hollywood presented. I think the Western side of the world definitely gets applause when it comes to just mastering the visual side of storytelling. But I think Japan itself mastered the art of storytelling, if that makes sense. Uh, yeah, number two, I would say what makes Shonen Jump stand out is definitely characters. Likable characters, likable plots, senseis. Students, teachers, rivals. I think they mastered the aspect of having a rival and having a sensei. You know, and third, I would say just world building. I think Japan Shonen Jump has some of the best world building in all of storytelling history. And yeah, that's all I had to say.